It always begins with onboarding. Understanding that you're setting the expectation early. The requirement, for lack of a better word, is that you treat the job site with respect, and that you treat your fellow trade partners with respect, and yourself and your work crew. It goes hand in hand with respect and trust, because you wouldn't want to have your crew working inefficiently and unsafe in somebody else's debris. And so it shows a lack of respect for your work, your workers, the entire environment when you haphazardly leave your debris on the ground. It could be tools, it could be cords. It's really that you have a clean floor that is uncluttered by all types of items so that you can freely traverse back and forth. That's the concept. So starting in onboarding, we set the expectation early. And we set the expectation that this is the way we execute work on our project, that this is just the way it is. And so they start there, and then the worker orientations help to reinforce that. There's a lot of visual management tools of 5S and nothing hits the ground, those aids along the way. And then as they begin to do their work and to mobilize onto the project, the institution of Everything on Wheels has assisted in the organization of material. Nobody wants to have stacks of material laying around, and they can easily move it. And that's an easy one for trade partners to assimilate into their work, with the exception of the initial cost of buying and procuring and managing the carts. Once they see the value added in their work of being able to easily move their material, now that's one component. But then when you get to, so that's still nothing hitting the ground. You don't want material on the ground, you don't want debris on the ground, you don't want tools laying around on the ground. We even elevate our temporary power boxes. So they're not on the ground. So they're at a better ergonomic height, but as well that they're mobile and they're on carts. And what all of these things do is it starts behaviors, changing behaviors. We as an industry, like I said before, we accept filthy conditions. And so a lot of the times when you have a trade partner that doesn't understand about working in a clean environment, it's because his behavior, the way he was indoctrinated into the industry, is that that's just the way it is. And so you have to reinforce from very day one the behavioral change. And really and sometimes you have to take more drastic measures. I will, if need be, to make the statement, I'll stop the job, I'll stop the work. A couple years ago, 300 people working on the job frantically. And it was more important to me that they work frantically, if that be the case, that they, in a more clean environment, they were starting to slip behind, and we stopped. And all production was ceased for that day. And everybody, foreman, general foreman, all the workers, all they did was clean the buildings. And what that did was it was an extra level of reinforcement to every single craft on the job that this is what they should expect to work in. And subsequently, later days went by, and workers actually came to me individually and thanked me for doing that. While they thought it was drastic, they understood the value afterwards of having to stop, step back. So it's a continual process, but you have to stay the course. You have to stay the course, because once you allow one trade partner to work in his old fashion of sloppily and leaving debris, material, whatever it is that's clutter on the floor, I classify good material and debris as the same thing. Because it's on the ground and it's impeding work. Unless it's mobile, and any debris should always be should never hit the ground, it goes right into a trash can.